Once upon a time, in the chaotic laboratory of a rogue geneticist who moonlit as a political cartoonist, an experiment went not as planned. The goal was to create a perfect clone of the famous billionaire-turned-superhero Donald Triumph. The scientist envisioned an idealized version, wealthier, shinier, and maybe with slightly smaller hands. But alas, the cloning machine hiccuped, the genome sequences tangled, and what emerged from the pod was not the golden-haired hero. It was Donald Dump. A trashed beginning. Donald Dump was a sight to behold. His orange-tinted skin came out patchy, his famous hair swirl resembled more of a raccoon's nest, and instead of emerging in a bespoke suit, he crawled out of the cloning pod wrapped in a pile of used napkins. From his very first moments, he displayed a strange proclivity. Instead of fine dining, he waddled over to the nearest trash bin and began devouring leftover pizza crusts and expired yogurt like a ravenous opossum. The scientist stared in horror. "What have I done?" he muttered. He was supposed to be perfect, a titan of industry, a tower of charisma, not a literal garbage human. Dump, licking his fingers and belching loudly, turned to the scientist. "Listen here, Powell. This garbage is tremendous. The best garbage. Probably the best anyone's ever seen."
"Everyone's saying it."
Life in the dumpster. Rejected by the world, Dump found solace where others saw only waste. The trash cans, dumpsters, and landfills of the city. He made his home in a deluxe industrial dumpster behind a fast food joint. Prime real estate, he'd boast to the rats that were now his only friends. "This is the best neighborhood. No taxes, no rules. Free leftovers. Everyone envies me." Word of Dump's existence soon spread across the city. He was hard to miss, waddling around in a tattered bathrobe he insisted was vintage luxury, scavenging for discarded Big Macs while making bizarre proclamations to no one in particular. "I could have been the biggest thing in the world," he'd mutter, dragging a half-eaten banana peel out of a bag. But who needs that? Fame is overrated. Trash is where it's at. Enter Trashman. One fateful night, while rummaging through a landfill, Donald Dump crossed paths with the local vigilante hero known as Trashman. Trashman, a grim protector of the city's waste management systems, was horrified by the scene before him. Dump perched atop a mountain of garbage, scarfing down an entire KFC bucket that someone had tossed out, with the chicken bones still inside. "Hey, you there!" Trashman yelled, adjusting his utility belt, made of recycled soda cans. "Step away from the garbage! It's for composting and environmental balance!" Dump glared at him, his mouth stuffed with soggy fries. "Who are you to tell me what to do? I'm a self-made man, a business genius. I live in garbage because I choose to. It's a tremendous lifestyle." Trashman sighed. He had seen a lot in his day. Mobsters dumping toxic waste, billionaires polluting the oceans, but this was unique. "You need help, man," he said. "This isn't normal." Dump smirked. "Normal is boring. Trash is the future. It's renewable, sustainable, delicious." Despite their rocky introduction, Trashman and Donald Dump soon found themselves teaming up, though not entirely by choice. A sinister corporation, Greed Corp, had started dumping barrels of radioactive waste into the city's landfill. Dump, having accidentally eaten some of the glowing sludge, it had a zingy aftertaste. he said, developed strange new powers. His belches could knock over entire garbage trucks, and his touch turned ordinary objects into piles of rotting refuse. "I'm like King Midas, but better," he crowed. "Everything I touch turns to trash." The rise of the Trash Fire Duo. Together, Trashman and Donald Dump became the city's most bizarre crime-fighting duo. Trashman tried to maintain order and cleanliness, while Dump caused chaos wherever he went. Their partnership was complicated. "Donald, stop eating the evidence!" Trashman yelled one night as Dump devoured a pile of shredded documents they had stolen from Greed Corp's headquarters. "But it's so good!" Dump whined, crumbs spilling down his robe. "Tastes like corruption! Spicy." Despite his flaws, Dump occasionally stumbled upon moments of brilliance, usually by accident. One time, while attempting to use a greasy pizza box as a napkin, he discovered an incriminating blueprint that exposed Greed Corp's entire illegal operation. "See, I'm a genius," he said smugly, as Trashman stared in disbelief. "A legacy of garbage." Though Dump would never achieve the fame and fortune of his genetic predecessor, he carved out a unique legacy of his own. He became a symbol of resilience, a reminder that even the most absurd mistakes could have a purpose. Children would gather around their televisions to watch Trashman and Dump, a Saturday morning cartoon based on their adventures, though the network heavily sanitized Dump's more unsavory habits. As for Dump himself, he remained unapologetic. "People thought I was a failure," he said, lounging in his dumpster with a half-eaten burger. "But look at me now. I'm living the dream. The trash dream, and no one does it better." And so Donald Dump continued his peculiar existence, a failed clone who turned his dumpster fire of a life into something truly extraordinary, if a little smully. Alexia. The end? Ha! I saw you check.